Well, nothing screams 80s like a peroxide blonde mullet. It was a defining feature shared by most of the members of British pop band Kajagoogoo, whose 1983 hit Too Shy became one of the catchiest tunes of the decade.
But with their success came tension. Lead singer Limahl left the band to pursue a solo career, hitting the charts with this timeless hit. Music has been a never-ending theme for Limahl, who continues to perform, and soon the 80s star will be hitting Aussie shores for a national tour.
And Limahl joins us live from London this morning here on The Morning Show. Limahl, welcome to the show. Firstly, take us back to the band. Hi.
Hey.
Kajagoogoo, take us back to those days and the name.
Yeah, that was fun, choosing that name. We had a long list of names, and I think you'll agree we picked the craziest.
Yeah, it's a ripper. Your debut hit, Too Shy, went top 10 in Australia, a huge hit right around the world. It was produced by Duran Duran's keyboardist, Nick Rhodes. So talk us through how you all came to work together in the first place.
I was working as a waiter at the Embassy Club in central London. It was kind of where music people came. I served a drink to the keyboard player of Duran Duran, and then I infused about the band. And unbeknown to me, he was already thinking out of the Duran Duran box. He was thinking about producing. It was just perfect timing. He said, "Send me your tape." It was a cassette. And a couple of weeks later, he called me up and he said, "I love the tape. I'm going to take it into EMI Records and tell them that I want to produce you." And he did. We got signed, and the rest is history.
Wow.
Gee, that's amazing, because how many times would have Nick Rhodes been fronted by some guy in a club who wants to send him a tape? Like it really is quite extraordinary that he actually got the tape, he listened to it, and then the rest is history, isn't it?
I didn't think he would call, you know. People can be very flaky, especially in a alcohol situation. Yeah, sure, send me a tape, you know. I just thought that would be the last that I'd hear from him. So, yeah, he came into my life and he made a big difference, and fantastic.
That is a great story. Hey, another good story is the never-ending story. It charted in 17 countries. It was your most successful solo hit. Yeah. That must be a very, very special song to you.
It is. You know, to get a call from Georgia Moroder, the producer, I imagine if you were an actor and you got a call from Steven Spielberg, it would feel the same. You know, I flew to Munich and recorded the vocal with Giorgio. It was kind of a trial. He said, I want to test your voice." He's Italian. On this little soundtrack I'm working on. And then 2 days later, they told me he was going to use it. And I heard it at home. I played my little cassette. I thought, it sounds okay, quite interesting. Didn't hear, you know, this massive hit that it was going to become. It's so hard to know.
I guess the challenge would be to hit those high notes.
Totally.
Yeah. Can you still do it?
In fact, of course. Well, I say of course. I'm grateful that I can. Well, that's where my sort of training came in, if you like. I did about 3 years in theatre before I joined Kajagoogoo, and I had singing lessons from a teacher who taught Elaine Page, Shirley Bassey, and whose wife gave elocution lessons to Sean Connery.
Oh, wow. In good
That's
company.
Pedigree, yeah.
Now, today, of course, we're celebrating All Things Countdown. And back in the 80s, you actually hosted the iconic show, right? What are your memories from that time? What are your memories of Molly?
I remember that he was charming, funny, knowledgeable, He whispered into my ear that he thought Never-Ending Story would be a huge hit in Australia. I felt very lucky to be co-hosting with him. Do you see what I did there?
Yeah. So a bit of an Australian nod there. So you're about to, well, in July, you'll kick off a national tour here in Australia. So we look forward to seeing you. That's with a whole host of 80s stars. That's got us written all over it, Larry Emdur. You looking forward to it?
Yeah, totally 80s.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Because the first time I came to Australia 35 years ago, you know, it was a completely different perspective. It was all a bit crazy. And so this time, you know, it's going to feel quite new. So really looking forward to it.
You're going to love it. We've got roads and cars and restaurants and electricity and everything now. You're going to love it here this time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've also got crocodiles and spiders and snakes.
Yeah, don't you worry about that. You just stay in your nice hotel room, everything will be fine.
They don't hang around in the venues or anything. I'll be okay with that.
Thank you so much, Limahl. Great to speak to you today. And the Totally 80s tour kicks off in July. For details, visit our website.
Oh, look at that lineup. That'll be huge fun.